Evening, guys. So, have a very interesting, well, hopefully a very interesting, would I call her a project, or is she just suitable for spare parts? It's hard to say, I guess. So I would, if I give everybody the information, then people perhaps can decide if it's going to be one which may be suitable for them to do something with it, or maybe just to break her for parts. So this is one of the early Stihl 031s, although it's not an early Stihl 031. In fact, this is the 031 AVE electronic, so anti-vibe. I think the first 031s were early 70s, 71, 72, 48cc engine, and a beautiful vintage style saw. And so what do we want to say about this saw? So she's got some real good pluses and some negatives as well. So perhaps we'll start with the negatives first then. AV mounts on the saw. Front mount is loose, so probably broken inside, undoubtedly broken inside. Okay. Bottom handle mount is loose, and so not super major, but you know, that's both the AV mounts at the back are done. Rear handle AV mount looks okay. There is, which I noticed on this when it arrived, there is a crack. So interestingly then, so perhaps I'm starting back to front. Good parts on it. Real nice handle, nice grip. Oregon 16-inch period replaceable roller nose bar. Has a steel full chisel chain, which is mostly end of life, but maybe one or two sharpens left in her. She seems sharp. Felling spike present. No brakes on the side cover. No brakes on the top cover. No brakes on the bottom handle support, and really interestingly, no brakes on the fuel tank. And she has a really excellent pull start housing, because I put that on, it's one I've had, and that had a brand new, I think it's about £9.50, a brand new pull start spring in her. So she has excellent compression engine. Pull start works really well. Pulled the plug out, excellent spark, and has the elusive little plastic air filter cover, although that has a slight break in it. Little baby plastic knuckle guard is present. Adjustable chain oiler, oiler's working. Okay, they're the good things. And then the bad thing, on the inside of the pull start housing, this piece of metal which screws in at the top has broken away. So that is come away presumably from the inside crankcase, and although it pulls over and doesn't seem to deflect much, you know, that's still a piece missing off the crankcase, so that has to be pointed out straight away to people. And running wise, interestingly, so she appears to start perfectly every time, and then refuses to idle. Will come up to full revs, no trouble at all. Obviously oiling really well. Will come up to full revs, and then if you try to let her idle, will just immediately cut out. So I've done the basic thing, which is I've reset the low needle jet settings. I don't have any carburetor kits for this, and this is smaller than I'm going to be working on. So let me show you how she works. So choke, kill switch, throttle lock. That's the right way. Okay, prime her, choke off. So if you let the revs drop, the engine just decides to die. But when she's revving, revs cleanly. So choke off. but refuses to idle. So there she is. I think would make an amazing donor saw for somebody, because the compression is great, the exhaust looks good, guide bar looks in really nice condition, has a Stihl full chisel chain, oilers working, correct filler caps, excellent pull start, and these are they're notoriously difficult to get. If you've got a 031, they're so difficult to get the pull start housing. So nice top cover in terms of no damage or breaks, no breaks to the throttle assembly or to the rear aluminium handle at the back, but has the crack on the inside here for this material and refuses to idle. So you know, it's exactly how she's arrived, with the addition of the pull start which has been done on her, and obviously hasn't been cut with because, you know, she's not running right. But actually, I wonder if it's worth there you go, it's just thinking out loud. So obviously throttles perfectly, it appears to really four-stroke nicely off the top end of the rev range. You know, change of plan. Let's put her through a piece of wood, and yeah, let's put her through a piece of wood and see what she cuts like. Is that about? Perfect. Okay. Actually, maybe this would be a really good indication for people as well, just to see perhaps the strength of the engine. So I presume as she's dying low down, it sounds like she's making the wowing sound, like she's not getting enough fuel. That might be carburetor. I don't think that would be the air impulse line, although the impulse line comes from the back of the crankcase and is like a little custom steel cable. So obviously that would need going through. I presume as it's throttling, full throttle seems to be perfect, then fuel pickup would seem to indicate that's fine, and has an excellent spark. So I would think all of it points to fueling, but then maybe low down, perhaps she's not sparkling, perhaps she's not sparking reliably low down, although when you pull her over she has an excellent spark. Okay, let's see if we can get her to go through some wood. We've got, okay, perfect. So we have about 15-inch, 15, yep. Right, that's Luton track. So about 14-inch wood. Right, it's been very interesting. And the other thing is interesting as well, which perhaps that also points to the carburetor, is she will only seemingly start each time with the choke on. Once she's primed, then she is away. But yeah, it's a really interesting set of symptoms that this engine has. But at the top end, seems fantastic. Okay. So fires, choke off. Okay, interesting. So, well, it's a dreadfully sighted cut, and she's curving slightly, so I guess the blade's definitely going to need sharpening or tweaking in that regard, but didn't seem to bog down in the cut, interestingly, even though she refuses to even though she refuses to idle lower down. So again, that's immediately then after we've just run the engine, just to show you her symptoms. If I go to start her with throttle lock, she just will not. If I put the choke on and put throttle lock on, and then turn the choke off, okay guys, so there she is, warts and all, but a very kind of desirable and collectible saw for certain people, the 031, and so maybe an amazing source of spare parts just because the engine has such fantastic compression and side cover excellent, etc, etc. Or maybe it's just one to solve the low-down running issues, sharpen her up, maybe put a different chain on her and use her as she is. But so hopefully she's got some potential for some of you out there, and any questions please just ask. Guys, thanks for watching. Bye for now.